We continue learning Dirshu Mishnah Berurah, middle of Hilchos Netilas Yadayim. Baruch Hashem, beginning a new Siman. Siman Kov Samoch Aleph, which are going to be the halachos as the Mechaber coins them. Dine Chatzitzah benetila. The perhaps intricate halachos, sometimes unknown halachos of Chatzitzah and Netila. These are going to be the shailas. If you have a band-aid, can you wash wearing a ring? Dirty hands, etc. A Chatzitzah, an interposition between your hands and the water. These are more commonly known with regard to Tvilas Kelim, that utensil can have a sticker. With regard to Tvilas Isha, that a woman can't have anything on her body. Says the Mechaber, Sarich li zoyer mi Chatzitzah. One has to be careful with regard to Chatzitzah. Shekal davar shechaytzeitz b'tvila, chaytzeitz b'netila. Begins the Mechaber that whatever is the Chatzitzah for Tvila, for going to the mikvah, is the same Chatzitzah for Netilas Yadayim. Ki goy. For example, says the Mechaber, Soya, if there's a little bit of excrement, Chatzitzah pyrin under a nail, of course in a world without toilet paper, very common. Shaloi keneged abasar, but not the part of the nail keneged abasar. Basically, if you look at your fingernail, my nails are a little bit short, but the nail, you have the nail that goes keneged abasar. And let's say the nail would stick up a little bit. That would be shaloi keneged abasar. If there was soya there, that would be a problem. Ubatzek or dough, Chatzitzah pyrin, afilu keneged abasar. There's some dough underneath your nails, even keneged abasar. A woman needs dough, a man needs dough, and there's a little bit dough stuck between your nail. That is a Chatzitzah. Uretiya shal b'sarai. If you're wearing a bandage, v'tita yavan, v'tita yitzin, different types of tit clay. Av b'mi'utoy she'einoi makbid, the $1 million words. A miyat, a little bit. She'einoi makbid, that you're not particular about. We have to define that. Ein lachos, you don't have to worry about that. Says the Rama, because of this, we're not accustomed to removing the tit, removing the little bit under our nails, the netila misham davi kemita shena makbid, because it's a little bit that we don't care about. Kein makbid al zel netila, because you're not makbid of this for washing your hands. Aval, however, emaya makbid, if you do care, then of course, you have to move it from under the nails. V'chein, and similarly, the Rama continues. V'chein iker. That is the min halacha. Ve'evsher, and perhaps, shel nagu lahakol b'chatzitzah l'ini netila. Says the Rama, even though the Mechaber began this halacha that whatever is a chatzitzah for tefillah is a chatzitzah for netila. Says the Rama, Efsher, we're more lenient with regard to Chatzitzah, with regard to washing your hands. Why? Because there are those that say it doesn't apply to washing your hands. But the ikar is like the first svara. We have to see what this means. So let's go all the way up. And a bit unique over here, the Mishnah Berurah begins this siman with a hakdama. Not that unique, and many times the Mishnah Berurah does such, begins a topic with Akdama. It just shows us a little bit as to the critical importance of the matter and how everything is not that simple. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Akdam Lazak Damal Kitzaris of Katan Aleph. Let's begin with a short introduction. Vohu, and it is. Regarding to tefillah, which of course every woman knows, men know as well, you have to be careful not to have anything black in the water. V'hainu, what does that mean? Shelo yehei shom davar mudbak. Nothing can be attached. I'll go from the body based on tefillah while you go into the mikvah. Dal yedei zeh, because through that, there's something stuck in your skin. That part of the skin is not roy, is not fit for the water to touch that part of your body. And if there is such an interposition, such a thing blocking the water, loy also a tefillah, the tefillah does not work. And even though says the Mishnah Berurah, midaraisa, what's a chatzitzah? Midaraisa has to be on the majority of the body, which of course is not so common. But midarabanan, asr afilu maya chatzitzah al miyot haguf. Midrabanan, rabbinically, there's an isser even if the chatzitzah, even if the item blocking the water is on the minority of the body. Gezerah teruba. They made a gezerah. However, the Rabbanon created the Rabbanon when it's normal to be makbid. Meaning, if it's not the norm to be makbid, then the din Rabbanon does not apply, and then it wouldn't be an issue. Even though right now, of course, every time you're going into the mikveh with the item on it, you don't care. Proof is you're going to the mikveh. But we judge the chatzitzah. We judge the hakbada. We gauge whether you care about this entity, not right now as you go into the mikveh, but rather in the norm. But if something is not normal to be makbid on, then it's not a chatzitzah. Let's cover the majority of the body. So the majority of the body, then it's a problem, even if you're not makbid. So Mishnah Berurah just gave us a fascinating hakdama that if it's on the majority of the body, I don't care if you care or not about it, it's an issue. Okay, number one. If it's on the minority of the body, midarais, that's not a problem. Midrabanan, it's a problem. When is it a problem, midrabanan? If you care. When do you care? Of course, right now I don't care. If I have a splinter in my skin, if right now my ring is stuck in my finger, if right now I'm wearing a cast, of course, right now I don't care. Right now I want to get into the mikvah. Says the Mishnah Berurah, that's not how you gauge hakpada. It doesn't go what you want right now. It goes whether the derech is to be makbid. Now, how to define the derech? That is the $1 million shayla, which we'll see a bit of the Dirshu in a moment. Yadayim came with regard to washing hands as well. Af shehud midrabanan, as we've seen many times, washing your hands that did the rabbanan. Still, called tikkun rabbanan came the rice, tikkun they made the rabbanan patterned after the rice, and therefore valkein. Im yesh chatzitzah al roi vayad, if you have a chatzitzah, the majority of your hand. So now we're understanding how these halachas take on a tremendous form with regard to washing your hands. When it comes to going to the mikveh, you never have a roiv. One, it's on the majority of your body, which parenthetically, it could very well be, because the hair might be judged as its own entity. That's when you could come into issues. But says the Mishnah Berurah with regard to Netilas Yadayim, washing your hands, the hands are judged by themselves. So the majority of the hand is the majority of the makam anatila. Also, it's forbidden even a miyat, a minority that you're not makbid is a problem. Let's say it's not on the majority, it's on the minority. Then so again, minority only a problem if you're makbid. Minority that you're not particular about, not a problem. V'ata devarer divrei Shulchan Aruch. Masha kasav lizar mechatzitza. That Shulchan Aruch said you should be careful of mechatzitza. Hainu she'aser me'adayim kodim anatila. Should move it from your hands before you wash them. Kol davar shederach b'nei adam lahakbid of la'asiroi. Any item that it's normal to remove. Let's say you wash your hands and you found something on them. Whether it's on the minority or on the majority. We assume it came afterwards. Meaning, if you checked and then you found, we assume it came afterwards. But not only should you take off all the chatzitzas, you should look at your hands before you wash them. So let's see the Dirshus over here. The Mishnah Berurah just said a ton. Let's begin. Says the Dirshu. No, that's not the Dirshu. I think it's in the previous page over here. Yes, here it is. Baruch Hashem. Says the Dirshu. Ubedavar shederech b'nei adam lahakbid achu einay makbid al kach. Something that everyone cares about, you don't care. We're going to see Sivkot Zayin. It's a machlekes. Let's wait for there. Something shemitzad tiva you are makbid. Says Dirshu number 2. But right now, what does that mean? We froze. We're back. Says the Mishnah Berurah, what if there's something that you can't remove due to an isser? Says the Dirshu, excuse me. For example, it's Shabbos, and you have a fingernail that's hanging off, and you can't remove it on Shabbos. Or you have a Band-Aid that's stuck on your skin in the place of a hair, and therefore you're nervous if you remove it, it's going to remove the hair. So the Mishnah Berurah Nilchas Shabbos says, so forgot to cut his nails in Erev Shabbos, and the tefillah happened on Leil Shabbos. It's a Chatzitzah. However, the Buchacha says with regard to chatotim, if it is a chatzitzah on Shabbos, since you can't remove it, therefore it's not going to be a problem. A massive sugya on hilchos tvila, which of course is a da'araisa, and therefore it's much more particular and much more important. The general halacha in such an area is we're going to get a guy to remove that fingernail, or at the very least to clean it off. Okay, he says over here that the Dirshu says maybe this has similar to do with a band-aid. Let's wait to Sif Katan. Hey, let's say your entire body is covered with something, you're not derech to makbid on it. Says the Minchas Chidana, Chatzil Chatzitzah. Shaila is the Chatzitzah midaraisa midarabanan. Minchas says once it's roiv, it automatically is the daraisa. As the Gemara Nivamis says, the Chachos says similarly. However, the Lechem is Simla, which is the Baal Kitzer Shulchan Aruch, or Shlomo Gansfried, writes that since the din of Rav Kahana is not brought in Mesechus Nida, therefore it doesn't mean it's halacha, and therefore it's not going to be a chatzitza on the daraisa level. A topic that when you learn Hilchos Tvila, Hilchos Nida, is a very discussed topic. Let's continue with the Dirshu. Whoa, 1 second. Let's continue with the Dirshus over here. Continues the Dirshu. We're now in note number 4 regarding which items we're going to want to remove from our hands. Let's say you wash half your hand. We're going to see in Kuf Samach Beis, we've had a lot of references to there, that you can't wash your hands in halves. However, if it's wet enough to continue washing it, then you could wash it. Mishbuv there says, okay, this is a complicated halacha. Let's wait for Kuf Sadi Beis for something that's not chaytzitz, you don't have to remove from your hands. We're going to see Sivkat and Yudches. The makar over here for the fact that we're going to be talin and lahakal after you do it is a pri megadim, as the Chatzitzah brings that since Netilas Yadayim is a derabanan and it's a suffix derabanan likula. Now let's say you have other waters, of course, as in every suffix in Netilas Yadayim, just wash your hands. Again, as we've seen already in Siman Kuf Samach Sif Yuda Aleph, the Yesh Oimrim, if you're not sure if you wash your hands, it's always better to wash your hands, because Bikal, you can remove yourself from the suffix. The truth is, even though we did not finish Sif Aleph, we're still in the middle of Sif Aleph, but we're going to break this up for the sake of not having a very long shir. And in the next year, we will reread the Sif Aleph and take it with the appropriate Mishnah Buras B'siyata de Shmaya.